Right, so in this video I wanted to focus on little tips and tricks, particularly for our beginner brothers on how to use the power sword. Rather than focusing on a particular build, I just wanted to focus on how to use the power sword itself to really get the most out of it when fighting, particularly the Tyranids. So here we have the power sword. If you'll notice, the power sword has two separate modes. We have the speed stance, and we also have the power stance. The way we get there is by clicking and holding the melee button, and then we'll switch from one stance to the other. Generally speaking, due to certain buffs that the power sword has received over the patches, power stance tends to be the more preferable. So speed stance tends to be more for individual damage. It's fast, but it really doesn't have any area of effect damage, whereas the power stance is slower, but as you can see has cleaving effect, which can affect multiple enemies at once, and it does more damage as well. It also benefits from certain perks that increase charge attack damage. Anyway, so the two main things I want to mention is, or rather three main things, is we have the standard attacks, as seen here. We also have the power whirl, which requires an attack, allowing the character to adopt the power whirl stance, and then the execution of the power whirl stance. So what you do is you swing the sword once, wait for the character to enter the stance, and then click, not hold, just click the melee attack again, and then that'll create a power whirl. So if we show that here, swing, stance, power whirl. Again, that would be swing, stance, power whirl. The other form of attack is you do an attack followed by holding the melee attack. That creates the power rake. So if we do that, that would be attack, hold, power rake. So again, that would be attack, hold, power rake. There's a certain perk that also allows the power rake to be done twice. So in that case, that would be attack, power rake 1, power rake 2. Now the difference between these two is the power whirl is good for clearing multiple minors, so it has a nice area of effect damage, and the power rake is good at meleeing or 1v1ing the majoris. Generally speaking, I tend to use the power whirl a lot more, particularly if there's bunched up enemies, because it gives us lots of area effect. And then also if I'm just soloing a majoris 1v1, then at that point I'll switch to the power rake, but I tend to use that a lot more rarely. The nice thing about both of these attacks is you can cancel them mid-animation, so you can always parry any incoming attacks. So in that case, let's do a power whirl, and we will cancel the animation by doing a parry for parrying incoming attacks, which would look something like this. Except it seems like we can't parry here in the battle barge, and I'll just show it in the mission. So those are the very, very basic maneuvers and moves that we have with the power sword. And now we'll proceed with a mission just to show what that looks like in practice. Right, so here we are doing an Inferno Absolute, and I immediately switch over to power stance because that's what's going to be more effective for me. And we will put the tools that we talked about and the techniques that we talked about in practice, and I'll kind of speak as we go. So here we have a group of majoris. I'll put my shield up, and because there's more than one, I'll elect to use the power whirl. I can cancel and immediately parry mid-animation. And here, because I'm soloing a 1v1, I go to the power rake. Drop a grenade here. Always take care of the spores first. And always get reinforcement calls. group here, so I'm going to use Power Whirl. That should take care of them. And we have a 1v1, so once again, I'll be power raking.
Our enemy brings forth more of its foul kind.
Now, when I approach an absolute mission, I tend to like to clear everybody. Leaving people behind will cause there to be reinforcement calls that you can't avoid then. As you can see, because there's big groups, I'm power whirling, canceling mid-animation to get the parries in. And whenever I do execute, I usually like to look around to see what's going on around me, just so that I have some situational awareness. The nice thing about the power stands is every time you knock them, it triggers a gun strike, which is good for quick and easy armor regen. You can see we can cancel the attack mid-animation.
Ammunition here.
And we have a group there. What I like to do sometimes is I'll get their attention, get myself ready for the stance, and when they drop, execute it.
Crush the ravenous brood. Every last seagull.
One other thing that you can do with the power whirl is you can change the direction by facing the other side. So you can always choose the direction you go with the power whirl. As long as you do your power whirl attack and quickly after follow that by a direction input.
You failed at both. There is no stable ground. Sending fragments.
That'll take care of the Ravener first. Now we're 1v1, so then we can try to do the power rakes, but of course there's also the zone tropes, so we gotta watch out for them.
We have trampled a chittering pile.
It's a little tricky with these guys there.
That silence is too deep. See those hordes?
Now we can finally focus on
To be killed.
zone tropes.
No throwing tokens.
Alright, so hopefully that gets the idea across of how to do the power rake and the power whirl. The intention was to get at least the basics
The Imperium
of the techniques used with the power sword, and I hope this guide was useful for you guys.